Hello, how are you? Welcome to the Cosmic Tea. I'm not going to do the whole Happy New Year, it's been a while thing. We're in another day, another moment. Here we are, ebb and flow. Let's go. So, how are you doing? This is kind of funny, but kind of not. I actually did record like an episode that was pretty much talking about all of this yesterday, and I posted it. And then when I was listening back, I was like, I don't know. I think I sound a little bit too much like a bitch. I sounded like too bitchy. And I want to get better at that. I will always be sassy. I will always have some hot takes and things to say that make people uncomfortable and that I may very well regret later. But overall, who I am is loving. Like, I'm not a bitch at all. I'm Jersey, very is what it is type. And so I approach, my work with a lot of love and passion and compassion. So sometimes when just the passionate, whoa, fire energy comes out and leads, I can listen back and be like, I would love to integrate the inner passion and compassion and softness and that I have when we work together in our one-on-ones and whatnot, and usually, just wherever, into when I'm speaking passionately. So that's what I'm trying to do, and let's just hop into it. So big goals need small steps. Big goals need small steps. So when a client comes to me, I always start with the question, what are your goals? What if all of the stuckness, overwhelm, confusion, self-doubt, if it were just you and the universe? What are you creating in your business? What are you receiving? What do your days look like? What is happening? What are you experiencing? What people are you helping? Often the answers include monthly income goals, consistent 7K months, consistent 8K months, hitting 10K months. I have some clients who they're over 10K months, which I have clients who make more money than me. It's not about that really necessarily, but we have all these income goals. And so I'm speaking more to the person who's establishing their business and really starting to want to create steady income from the spiritual work. And so all of these goals are fantastic goals. And my next question is typically, well, what are you selling? And that's where the uncertainty and the overwhelm really starts to creep in, put you in freeze, and that's where I come in, right? And it's okay, because that's where we need to start. We all have to start somewhere with something. So, strategy. It's like this misunderstood friend who really does have your back, but for some reason you just don't trust it. You don't trust them. You haven't had enough experience or understood how they can help you. So, misunderstanding strategy. And I've said it tons of times that strategy won't save you. And it's true. Strategy alone will not fix what's happening internally. I have seen people try all sorts of strategies, all different coaches, and still just fall flat on their face. This is where the quantum inner child energetics comes in. You always need to be addressing those internal blocks and expanding your capacity from the inside out to confidently implement said strategy and show up. So if you struggle to confidently show up, implement, sell, deliver, we know that no strategy will compensate for that. What a strategy can do when you start learning to confidently show up, to implement steps, to actively sell, to deliver offers. That's when a strategy will complement all. Oops, I cut out. Basically, the strategy complements all of that work you're doing, but it can never compensate for a lack of all of that. You see what I'm saying? So with strategy, we're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. And I literally, side note, I love that saying. I think it's so weird. It makes so much sense and then doesn't make sense, because it's like, well, are we looking for a baby in the bathtub? Or like, why is the baby just floating around in the bathtub? Why would we throw out the baby with the water? Like, it doesn't totally make sense. But anyway, strategy at its core is a simple plan. It is simply a plan. The dictionary literally defines it as a general plan intended to achieve something, especially over a longer period. That's it. Strategy is breaking down your goals into actionable steps that you can repeat over time. It's not magic. It's not manifestation person, let's say. It's clarity and it's consistency, because we've talked before about how you don't just sit there and then get clarity. You get clarity when you take action when you're unclear. And then you build the muscle that it's safe to take action when you're unclear, and then you get clear. You're able to clear the fog yourself with your own movements. Consistency, building the muscle, building the resilience, the nervous system resilience, the mindset, expanding the creative capacity. That's entrepreneurship. It is a creative pursuit, as is selling. And so having the Kundalini technology as well in your back pocket to just boom, use that creative energy to see opportunity, tap into the infinite, to see your own potential when maybe no one else does, or your inner critic is just bashing you. This is the work. You're here because you know that. So, for example, let's say your goal is consistent 5K months. That's over 50K a year. Like, that's a lot of money. I said this on my stories yesterday. Like, I know we're all talking about six figures, these big numbers, and rich, and millionaire. And I love it. I love money. I don't care what you do with your money or how rich you are or not rich you are. Like, whatever. But I'm just like, wait. My first 50K year on my own with my own spiritual work, that was mind-blowing to me, and it still is. Like, we can't, I just feel like a lot of times I see, it's like we don't give ourselves a real chance with some of these stories and numbers that are floating around in our head. We don't give ourselves a real chance to make it happen and tweak things and quote unquote fail and have to get back up. And that is business. So anyway, let's say your goal is consistent 5K months. Let's start there. Strategy begins with the question, what small actionable steps can get me there? So let's break it down. Maybe you're selling one-on-ones. Maybe you are launching a course. Maybe you want to create a freebie, which means you would have to create an email list. From there, simplify and execute and keep backtracking. I'll tell you a story to help paint this picture. So when I entered the online space, 2019 is when I started to put out some meditations, start my podcast. My main goal, so I went in with a goal. I wanted to create monthly recurring revenue. As someone who's always worked gigs, multiple different streams of revenue, and typically hour for hour or something like that, The idea of payment plans, money coming in when I wasn't actively selling or actively working, felt like the holy grail of online business, entrepreneurship. I wanted to do that. And so to achieve that, obviously I knew there were a lot of steps going in. I knew I needed an offer that could do payment plans. And so I decided to make my big goal be an online course. From there, I asked myself, okay, how do I attract people to the course? Answer, well, I do need to build an audience. I need to get it in front of people. I want to use Instagram. Okay, how do I build an audience? Well, start showing up consistently, start teaching on, talking about topics that are relevant to the people that I think I could help in the course. So it was for newly awakening star seeds. I listed out their pain points: anxiety, fitting in, self-doubt, finding their soul purpose, and then considered the big desires. So they wanted to learn how to manifest with more ease because they're feeling confused with all of the different manifestation techniques they're seeing upon awakening. They want to learn more about their soul origins and feel more grounded. Like, you're not crazy, you're just a starseed, And I worked on just communicating that and having fun creating content around those topics as I built the course. So the practical pieces here, I knew that I wanted to get people on an email list too. That's just a part of business. How do I do that? Okay, I'm going to create a lead magnet. Okay. What would be another good idea to build excitement for this? Create a wait list and just keep writing down. And I'm a big pen and paper girl, and this obviously helped me, but write it down. One thing at a time. So right now, just from scratch, if I were just starting something random right now, if I wanted to create a course on, balancing hormones with Kundalini yoga, let's say, and I had no audience, I would do the same thing I did 5 years ago, because nothing in what I did is a trend. There's nothing about an email list that's a trend. There's nothing about creating a lead magnet that's linked to the offer you'll be selling. That's like none of, you see what I'm saying? Like, these foundational pieces, like, none of it's changing. It doesn't matter where you are on the internet. These are just practical thought processes to get some actions that you can take on pen and paper and start taking them. Huge thing that I have been sharing with tons of clients, ChatGPT. I could do a whole episode on how I use AI for my business, and I probably will on the private podcast in Cosmic Biz Club, because I want them to really start utilizing ChatGPT. If it doesn't go against their moral standards, I know there's a whole conversation around that, and that's fine and whatever. Basically, if you start talking to ChatGPT like it's your coach, your friend, tell it the goal, what you want to sell, what your experience is, what like prices you're thinking of, and say, I don't know my next step. I know I need to build an audience. What are some topics that can help me do that? Like, use ChatGPT to help you break down these steps. Now, I know we kind of got sidetracked, but one of the things I wouldn't do, and I'm suggesting people stop doing this, is just copy and pasting captions from ChatGPT onto your Instagram page. It's really obvious now. It wasn't at first, it is now, whether it's the M dashes or just the way that ChatGPT does paragraphs and emojis. Do not just copy and paste. Copy it and then paste it into your notes, and then go read it out loud and tweak it so that it's how you talk. That's my suggestion. If you are using ChatGPT for sales pages, which I do, It certainly helps me organize my thoughts. But then I got to go back, read it out loud, make it be like who I really am and more personable to who I'm really talking to. Because I really think that as AI gets more and more and more relevant, more a part of our daily lives, the authenticity thing, it's going to need to come out more in captions. So really trying to figure out how can you actually communicate, connect, and be a human in your writing while also using ChatGPT. That's my trick. So confidence through action. Next section. Here we go. So many clients come to me, of course, with these beautiful dreams of launching courses, long-term containers, but they also say they really haven't sold many one-on-one sessions. My advice is to start simple, because a lot of the energetics that it takes to launch courses, to build out and hold space for long-term containers, masterminds, memberships, that's going to take confidence. That's going to take you feeling really like locked into your skills. And it's also going to take you understanding your audience and your people. There's no better way to do that than learn to sell one-on-ones. Create some sort of one-on-one process, offer, have fun with it. What do you do? Like, have fun with it. I love when I ask you, I'll be like, okay, tell me about your one-on-one session. You're like, I don't know. Well, no, like, tell me. Pretend I'm a person. Like, what are you doing? Like, tell me. It's between you. Like, what are we doing? And make it sound really fun. Like, a really gifted, beautiful woman in Cosmic Biz, she used the term, she's like, it's like I go into their energy field and do psychic surgery. And I know it sounds crazy. I'm like, no, it sounds fucking cool. I want psychic surgery. Look at my energy field. Tell me where I'm blocked. Help. Like, that's what your people want. And so the ability to just stand up and be like, I read energy fields. I talk to aliens, you know. I'm studying to be a priestess. I'm really fucking good at helping you unmask so you can show up and build a brand online. You know, get that gusto. Is that the right word? Anyway, these foundational steps, learning to sell your one-on-one, to it's just such a good practice to learn about yourself, learn about your offers and how you work. It makes everything else a lot easier. It makes showing up and talking to people so much easier, because you start to build all of this experience and you have all this stuff in your head of people you've actually helped. Why are people coming to you? What problems are you helping solve? Because I don't care who you are, if you're reading tarot or what, people are coming to you because they want answers, they want problems solved. Figure that out. Figure that out. For example, when I started, as I was building the course, I obviously needed money like in the interim. I just focused on selling, I think it was angel readings or just intuitive readings. I literally forget what exactly it was, but I showed up daily. I talked about my work. I would spend hours writing down in my journal, like, okay, what's some educational stuff I could share about angels that like I know from my readings? What are some problems that the angels have helped me solve for people? Like, people are coming to me feeling stuck in their relationship. What are some examples of that? And just working it. It really is a working it. And I feel like because the online space is so fixated on like quick fix, quick wins, big numbers, it's not helpful, because over the long term, it doesn't work. It doesn't stick. And that's why people come to me. We want to do the long term, the stuff that sticks, and just ground in it and really build and expand with our work. So circling back, keep it simple. If you are overthinking business strategy, this is what I want you to do. 1, pick a goal. This is business. Let's just keep it simple and be realistic. pick a financial goal. If you're currently making through your spiritual work $200 a month, because I have a ton of clients and even women in CBC who have other full-time jobs, and this is like the side thing they're building, right? So if you're currently making $200 a month, don't aim for $10K right away. I'm not saying it's not possible, but likely there's a lot in you that doesn't really think it's possible, and you need to teach her. You need to teach her and cultivate safety each step of the way. Start with 1K. Now break it down. What do you need to sell this month to hit that goal? Maybe it's 3 one-on-one sessions, or 1 package, or say $1,000. I don't know, 50 spots into, I can't do math, whatever. This is where I write things down and use my calculator. Now, from here, identify your quote-unquote content pillars. They're just topics that you're going to talk about and create content around that's tied back to what you're selling. And then show up, talk about it, do it. Instagram post. Okay, now go read it back in a podcast or send it in an email. Pick something and commit. Now, a strategy, so we're talking more strategy now, like a next step strategy as you're creating this content would be, okay, we're not just going to create these pieces of content to sell this and then let it die on your social media feed or in your stories after 24 hours. No, we take that and we make it a blog post. We riff on a podcast about the topic and then talk about what we're offering. We make a YouTube video, like whatever it is, but just start small and then you can just repurpose, or it's not necessarily repurposing. That's, what's it called? When you just expand on pieces of content and make longer form pieces of content. Okay. So another piece of this is, if you are functioning under extreme financial duress or anxiety, all of this is going to feel crazy, and I simply don't recommend quitting your job and starting a business right away. I got asked by a client yesterday, she's like, I have a part-time job, and I was just thinking maybe I should quit that and just focus fully on my business. Now, if she were maybe had a different nervous system and energy and all this stuff happening, sure, maybe that would work for some people. But knowing her, she's already getting overwhelmed. She's already finding herself in freeze, questioning prices. And if you just add on that financial pressure on top of it, no, it's not worth it. It'll burn you out, blah, blah, blah. I believe in just allowing money to come through anywhere. You get asked to babysit down the street, go babysit for a couple hours. You know what I mean? Just make money. Just say yes and create opportunity to receive money. And that's what showing up online is. That is what refining your skill set is. You are saying, all right, I want money, I'm gonna make money. And you just do it. You just do it. You work through your shit, you show up, you generate income. You're generating it through your own fire, through your own creativity, through your own work to release attachments. You are generating streams of income. One of the absolute most devastating mistakes that I see is people giving up too early. They launch something, they don't get the response they hoped for, and they immediately pivot or rebrand or change their bio, change the whole strategy, or just quit. And this is why I encourage joining a long-term supportive space like Cosmic Biz Club to help you process those moments of doubt so that you can stay consistent. So that instead of burning down your whole business, you just take a few days off because you're PMSing and then come back to my coaching and I help you refine your approach with confidence. Consistency is everything. Your repetition becomes your reputation. your ability to be consistent in your business and your belief in yourself is the consistent cash flow as well. Even if no one buys it first, keep showing up. Believe in your offer and give your audience time to catch on, especially if you have never sold it to them before, or they're used to talking about one thing and you're moving to another thing. Give people time to catch on. Give people time to learn from you. Every successful business person, entrepreneur that I've ever heard of or known has at one point in time been the only person who really believed in themselves. You have to show up for yourself and your work even when no one cares, or the algorithm hates you, or so-and-so said this or that. That resilience that you need to do this long term, that's what builds success. There's no overnight success. I remember years ago, someone who I was friends with at the time, I had just finished a full day of in-person readings and it was totally sold out. It was like bananas. There was like a line and a freaking wait list this day, and it was one of my first weekends popping up at this new shop, and I was grabbing dinner with her and telling her about it. She goes, "You're just so lucky. Everything that you do, it just like happens and works. And you know, you teach a Kundalini class and there's like 20 people there, this and that." And I was like, no, girl. I mean, yes, I'm lucky and I manifest like a motherfucker, but that's all the Kundalini. I can't help that. You know, I just started Kundalini at a good time. All right. Young age, brain still developing. There's something in me that I do. I stop, drop, I go, things happen and move fast. But I put so much work behind the scenes into believing in myself, working and moving and doing the thing when no one's watching. At 21, all my friends were going out drinking, getting internships, graduating college, like whatever, all this stuff. I was just by myself doing Kundalini yoga, doing what I wanted to do long term and believing in it somehow. It takes grit. All right. So closing thoughts is you've got this. You've got this. Pick a goal, break it down, start showing up, give yourself permission to succeed. Give yourself the chance. Take the pressure off. All of this time pressure, like make X amount by X time, is so unnecessary, and I have yet to see it help a sensitive creative make more money. I have yet to see it help a sensitive creative make more money. So stop fucking doing it, okay? So Cosmic Biz Club is open for enrollment. It is a hub of support with monthly rolling themes, hot seat coaching with me, personalized guidance, small group workshops for those who are truly ready to commit, go deeper, and combine quantum inner child energetics with simple 3D strategy, just like we talked about in this episode. This is a truly powerful blend of long-term support, and obviously there's like immediate aha moments and breakthroughs. How can there not be when you step into this quantum work, when you step into being like, yeah, my business, I do deserve long-term support. I do deserve guidance. I don't need to do all this alone. So if you are tired of feeling stuck and you're ready to get the accountability, get the community, get the coaching, you deserve these resources and support to thrive. And remember, if no one buys your offer at first, it doesn't mean it's not valuable. Keep going, keep creating. The world needs you. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.